S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I want to turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everyone? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Parinati, and I go by Michael Edward. I am the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you didn't know, we are a Benzinga FinTech Awards finalist for Best Data Analysis Tool last year, and we're currently the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university-level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, and individual mentorship and coaching on stocks, options, crypto, and futures. We also day trade, swing trade, and cover long-term investing. There's something for everybody here at True Trading Group. And we take that university level curriculum and we pair it with 8 professional full-time trading moderators that are with you each and every single day from pre-market until all the way after the close. We are not gone after an hour or two and you are simply left to fend for yourself. We are with you each and every single day, calling out trades, answering questions, providing market commentary and analysis. You also get access to our members, the most educated, helpful, supportive, and successful community of traders that you'll ever find. Not to mention the real-time trade alerts from the moderators and myself that collectively as a group have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80%, now going on roughly the last 4 years. If you're wondering why I should listen to anything it is that we discuss on this channel, it's because I did not figure this out on my own. I didn't figure it out by watching YouTube videos or sitting in Discord chats. I began my career working at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City. It's my first job out of college. While there, they had me go through an educational training program before they let me touch $1 of their money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the big stock market crash, but it was also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward and I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, along with my team of 8 professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. We actually have members in 115 different countries. We truly are a global community here at TTG. So if you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. Because 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live here, where myself and other mods and special guests will drop golden nuggets and give you free information, education, trade ideas, and commentary to help you guys all become better traders. So if you have not yet done so, make sure you smash that like button and show some love. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you never miss out on any of these streams because the information is invaluable. Today was CPI. And even if you weren't part of True Trading Group, if you were just on the live stream yesterday, you guys could have benefited from and could have capitalized and made money from the trading action today, just from the analysis that I provided to you guys on yesterday. Now, listen, I'm not a Monday morning quarterback. I don't come on these live streams and tell you, hey, this is what happened today. I will always tell you what I think is going to happen tomorrow. I'll always tell you what positions I'm in, what positions I'm getting into, whatever. And you guys can do with that information whatever you want. If you want to follow me on those positions, obviously you're more than welcome to. I tell you what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be right all the time. Okay. I'm going to be wrong sometimes. But one of my biggest strengths as a trader is my analysis of the overall market is very strong. It is rare that the markets do something that I'm not expecting. I mean, listen, I've been doing this for 18 years. And again, I'm not going to be right all the time. But if you ask any member of True Trading Group, they'll also probably agree with you that some of my strengths as a trader, my patience, my discipline, my risk management, my technical analysis, and my read and my feel for the overall market, I think are the strengths that I have as a trader. And I like to lean on my strengths in order to identify opportunities for me in the markets as a trader. Some of you may be familiar with something called the SWOT analysis, SWOT. S stands for strengths, W stands for weaknesses, O stands for opportunity, T stands for threat. So you have to identify what your strengths are, and then knowing your strengths, then you identify what your opportunities are. Your opportunities are going to be the positions that you're going to put yourself in to have the very best chance of making money, where you can rely and lean on your strengths. Your weaknesses will then be where you will identify your threats. And your threats will be situations that you should avoid putting yourself into, knowing that that's actually now leaning towards one of your weaknesses. So I like to put myself in positions based on my strengths. And the overall market, my analysis on the overall market is certainly one of them. I came on this live stream yesterday, this exact same time yesterday afternoon. And I told you that I was a little concerned about the possibility of a hot CPI number for the month of March. And I told you that's actually why I exited my long position yesterday. Okay. I had my long positions on yesterday. I made some money on Tesla yesterday to the long side. It wasn't anything to write home about, but I exited those positions before the market closed because I was concerned about a higher than expected CPI print today. And why did I feel that? Because of what's been going on in the commodities market, because of what's been going on in the jobs market. The jobs market has been strong, stronger than people had anticipated. And as long as people remain unworried about losing their job or feeling that, unemployment is still 3.8%, so a very low number, you're going to get this continued upward pressure on inflation. But the other real reason why I was nervous about a higher than expected print today was because of what's been going on in the oil market. Brent oil went all the way up to tap $90 a barrel last week. You've got WTI floating around in the high 80s. Oil has been slowly moving higher over the last several months. Now, that puts inflationary pressure on a lot of other categories of inflation. And that's why I was nervous about a higher than expected print. January and February were also hotter than expected CPI prints. But the Fed told us not to worry about that. The Fed told us that January's hot inflation was seasonal, right? Because everybody spends more money during the holidays and there's extra travel and everything else. So you always have this higher than expected, inflationary push or consumer spending push that happens in January. And that's how it was explained to us. Then February's number came out and they're like, yeah, but this isn't that big of a deal. We still think that the trend of inflation is to the downside. We don't feel that this changes our trajectory. And the markets totally ignored a hotter than expected January and February print. But I was on this live stream yesterday and I said to you guys, for me, a hotter than expected read for March gives you 3 in a row. And I said 1 is a blip, 2 is a bump, 3 is a trend. And if you get a hotter than expected print for three months in a row, that I felt the markets would not take that well. And I thought that we would have a sizable gap down today. And I thought that that sizable gap down would actually give you a little bit more downside into the rest of the week. That is still yet to be seen. We had a big gap down today after the CPI number came in hotter than expected. The S&P down a full 1%. The interest rate sensitive areas of the market, like the Russell and long dated assets, are going to be ones that really get hurt on a day like today. And that's why you're seeing, the Russell 2000 down 2.5% when the S&P is only down 1%. And that makes sense. And that makes a lot of sense from what we've seen. Tomorrow, you have the PPI number that comes out, and it's not going to be a shock if that number is higher than expected, because the CPI number was higher than expected. But how much higher is the question, because the CPI number was hot, but it could have been worse. And let me explain to you what I mean by it could have been worse. Okay. Let me explain to you by what I mean by it could have been worse. You know what? Before I actually get into the details about the CPI number, what I would like to do first is I have a quick little video clip for you guys from yesterday's live stream. I took a quick little snippet of it. I'm not going to play the whole analysis for you. It's, that we'd be sitting here for 10, 15 minutes. I grabbed a quick 1 minute video clip where I talked to you about my thoughts on a hot CPI number and what I think the market's reaction to that is, and how we're going to go about identifying opportunities to make money from that action in the markets today. Now, the YouTube live, it's right on this YouTube channel. If you want to go back and watch the whole thing from yesterday, you certainly can. It's on this channel. But here's a quick video clip from yesterday when I'm discussing with you what I think the markets do if we get a higher than expected CPI number. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Okay. But a hot number, I think, takes you back to 510 and kisses the 50-day moving average. So I think you'll get something that looks like this tomorrow if that's the case. If it's hotter than expected, I think you'll get a gap down, and then that gap down then sells off. And I think you're going to get a candle tomorrow that looks something like this. And then I would probably expect a little bit of follow through on Thursday. So if the number is hotter than expected, this is what I'm looking at. Okay, you would have a gap down. You'd have a gap down, maybe back to 516 or 515, and then open and sell. And open sell, break today's low, and then give you a little bit of follow through into Thursday, and then target this 508.5 area and the 50-day moving average. And I would expect a 50-day moving average test no later than Thursday. Okay, so I would expect it no later than Thursday. So there you guys have it. So that's my thoughts on yesterday's live stream when I was discussing with you what I think about the overall markets. Now, we said gap down, find that 516, 515, you heard me say, and then break yesterday's low. Well, we had the gap down today. The high of the day is exactly 516. We broke underneath yesterday's low and got all the way down to 512. Not quite at that target of 510 in this 50-day moving average, but you heard me say on the live stream that I think that takes maybe another day, and maybe by Thursday you get maybe a little bit of follow through that looks something like this. So I'm actually anticipating, if we get a hotter than expected PPI number, I want to see if you get follow through on this and don't erase the hotter than expected CPI number, because these other CPI prints that we have gotten, okay, these other CPI prints that we've gotten have been swallowed up quickly. So hotter than expected, you get a gap down and then the markets recover. And then hotter than expected for January, you get a gap down, then the markets recover. Now, is this going to be just another hotter than expected markets gap down, and then you get this follow, and then the markets just take this right back? And do the markets actually start to move back to the upside tomorrow? I think the markets could recover tomorrow if the PPI number is not as bad as the CPI number. I do think the markets would shake that off. And then my analysis that I just gave you on that live from yesterday about getting down to 510, that would not most likely does not come to fruition if the PPI number is not as bad as the CPI number was today. But if the PPI number tomorrow is worse than CPI today, then I think you get that 510 level that comes into play tomorrow. And then I'll be looking to stay short, get short, stay short, and then look for that move down to 510 and then kiss this 50-day moving average and then take those profits off and then look for a little bit more of a technical bounce back from there. I think that's a beautiful support level right here. Okay, it's this right here. You can see the support from back here in early March, and then there's the 50-day moving average. So I would love to just see a little something like that, get down into that support level, and then we can see if we can structure some longs and try to bounce off of that level. Okay, so let's talk about what the CPI number today actually was, because it was bad, but it could have been worse. Let me explain why that is. It was bad because it was higher than expected, but it could have been worse in the sense it could have been higher than last month. It wasn't higher than last month. There's 4 main data points on the CPI print. One of them was 1/10 of a point higher. The other 3 were exactly the same as last month. So when you take a look at when you look at a hotter than expected CPI number, there's 2 different degrees of, well, how hot really was it? Is it just higher than expected, or was it accelerating? Now, that's a very big difference. So we see inflation really didn't accelerate. It just kind of didn't move down. And it was expected that it was going to move back down again. And the core number was expected to drop 1/10 of a point. The month over month numbers were expected to go down from the previous month. They did not. So what were the numbers? The headline CPI number month over month, which includes the food and energy prices, was expected to come in at 0.3%. It came in at 0.4% month over month. That is exactly the same as last month. It was also 0.4% month over month. The year over year number was expected to come in at 3.4%. It came in at 3.5%. And that is the one that was higher than the previous month, because last month the headline number was only 3.2. So 0.3% higher on the headline year over year number. That's not that much of a surprise, because remember, that number factors in energy prices, and oil has pushed higher over the last couple of months, including in the month of March. And that is showing up in that headline CPI number because it includes the price of energy. Now you take a look at the core numbers, which are more important. The core numbers take out food and energy prices to see what are the other factors of inflation, like medical insurance, car insurance, cars, shelter, rent. All of these different things are going to show up in your core number a little bit more clearly because you can take out food and energy prices. So the month over month core number comes in at 0.4. It was expected to come in at 0.3. Last month, it was also 0.4. The year over year number was expected to come in at 3.7. It came in at 3.8, and it was also 3.8 last month. So this is what I mean by it could have been worse. You could have had the core CPI go to 3.9, and it would have accelerated from last month. You could have had the month over month go to 0.5, and it would have accelerated from last month. You could have had the headline month over month go to 0.5 and accelerate from last month, but it didn't accelerate. Those numbers didn't accelerate from last month. They just stayed the same. So rather than inflation accelerating, it just stuck. It's stuck. And that's also not a good thing, but it's also not the end of the world. Okay. The end of the world where the market panics is going to be if inflation really starts to accelerate and you start to get 3 or 4 data points of those 4 numbers that are higher than the month prior. That's when the market will start to, I think, have a little bit of a panic attack, because then the conversation starts about, will the Fed actually possibly raise rates again? I told you yesterday on the live stream that if you got a hotter than expected CPI number for the 3rd month in a row, that the conversation is going to start to be had about, is it possible that we see rate hikes this year? And that's actually exactly what you started to see. You had one analyst come out today, okay, Regan Capital, Skylar Wynand, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Regan Capital, says inflation poses risk of interest rate increase. U.S. inflation is reaccelerating and interest rate cuts are off the table for the foreseeable future, says Regan Capital's Skylar Wynand, says in a note about today's March CPI print. The 12-month core reading was 3.8, the same fast pace seen in February and slightly above expectations. Wynand expects global central banks, including the Fed, to keep fighting inflation through a prolonged stasis in rates and perhaps even a rate hike in the not too distant future. In the next 2 years, he expects a 6% yield on the 10-year bond. Wow. A 5% yield on the 2-year bond, and the Fed eventually cutting short-term rates down to 4%, resulting in an investment nirvana for fixed income investors. So all it took was that hotter than expected print. And now here comes the first analyst coming out and saying, we might look at rate hikes later this year. Now, I'm going to make myself very clear. I don't think we're going to get another rate hike this year. If we do, then the market's got to go down significantly from here. The market is just simply not priced for actual rate hikes, but I don't think you're going to get rate hikes. I said this to you yesterday. All you need is the conversation to start to be had. There is no Fed meeting in the month of April. So we are not going to get Jerome Powell raising rates or cutting rates or keeping rates where they are. We're not going to get this big, long Fed statement. We're not going to get the press conference where everybody gets to ask questions to Jerome Powell and he gets to talk about inflation. He gets to talk about monetary policy. We're not going to get that in the month of April. So the market's going to have to figure out how concerned the Fed really is about 3 consecutive months in a row about hotter than expected inflation. Are they now concerned? Because they weren't concerned with 2. Are they concerned with 3? You have a lot of Fed members that are speaking tomorrow and Friday. We'll see what they have to say now that we got the CPI report out, and we'll see how worried actually are they. Do they start talking about maybe it's possible that we have to raise rates? I'll tell you now, if between tomorrow and Friday, any Fed member even insinuates that they would consider raising rates again if necessary, I think this market moves to the downside. Keep your ears open to any Fed member that says anything around the topic of potentially raising rates. If they say that, they might do it purposely. They might intentionally say it just to tighten up financial conditions, but then not actually do it. I think that's actually more probable that Fed members talk about maybe raising rates, but they don't actually do it. And then their words will actually, the Fed members, their words are an effective form of monetary policy in and of itself, because when the Fed says something, financial markets react and adjust to them, and bond yields move, and then financial conditions tighten or loosen, and mortgage rates go up or they go down, right? So there's a lot of cause and effect when the Fed says something. So it's entirely possible that maybe tomorrow or Friday, a Fed member could insinuate that they might consider raising rates if they get another hot print. And then the markets would pull back on the back of that. It will be short at that time, and we'll be able to capitalize on that move to the downside. Absolutely not, Sassy. I don't even think we come close to October. Oh, you mean this previous October? You mean 2023's October? Well, I don't think we go down there anyway. I thought you were talking about the 2022 October lows from the crash. I don't believe so at all. That this number down here, that 2022 low, I do not believe that that's in play at all. I also don't even think that the 2023 October low is in play. I'll tell you guys this now. If we had any prolonged pullback in the overall market that takes you back to 480, I'm going to be buying, and I'll be buying right there. So if we got to pull back into this zone, you guys can just know I'm gonna start adding some stuff to my long-term portfolio. I do not believe that this 2023 October low, I do not believe that that is in play. The only way that that comes into play is if you do have a recession. And right now it looks like the soft landing is becoming more and more probable. The only way you would get back down to here, I think, is if you actually had a recession, which at this stage, I do not believe that you will even come close to a recession in 2024 unless something drastic happens. And if my thoughts on that change, I'll certainly let you guys know. But, that's what we got in the overall markets today. It's exactly the game plan that we had in mind yesterday. You heard me discuss it on the live stream. And then we said, okay, well, then how do we take that analysis and actually implement it into our trading activities so that we can now make money from this stuff? Because if you weren't already short the market, you're not going to capitalize on the gap down. You would have had to have already been in that position, right? I was not in positions going into the CPI number very specifically because I wanted to see what the number is. And once I see what the number is, then I can say, this is what I think the markets will do. And now this is how I'm going to position myself to make money from it. So what I want to do for you guys right now is I got a quick video clip from the pre-market session when I'm talking about the overall market again. And I'm explaining to you guys what I think the overall market's going to do. Now that we had the big gap down after the CPI number, I came on the microphone and said, okay, guys, this is what I'm looking at. Let's look for the markets to push up to 515, 516, and then run out of steam and then sell back down from there. So that's exactly what we talked about in the pre-market session. What I'm about to show you is not from YouTube. What I'm about to show you is from inside the True Trading Group platform. Now, those of you that are on here that are not members, you guys don't really get to see or hear any of the analysis that goes on inside of the TTG platform because you guys are not yet members. So I'll grab this and I can show it to you guys where this is from the pre-market session in what we call the Culotta Club. And this is in the pre-market session when I'm going through what I think about the overall market and where we can go from there. As soon as we pull this up, 614. You have it, Joe, or no? Yeah, I'm just waiting on Joe to kind of load this up. Give us 1 second, guys. We're just trying to get the video clip loaded on the Restream platform, which is what we use for the YouTube stream. I'm just trying to get the file loaded. All right, well, I don't know what's going on. While we're waiting on that, okay, what I'll do is kind of go over with you guys where I made my money today. I put on a little bit of a hedge position, which for me was a long position in one semiconductor and a short position in another semiconductor. And typically when you place hedge trades, you're not necessarily supposed to make money from both. But I did. The whole point of a hedge position is where we'll get long one thing, we'll be short another, and then obviously one's right, one's wrong. And then when you realize which one is correct, you cut the loser and you let the winner run. So you kind of limit your upside because you're going to lose usually on one of those positions. And then, but the idea is you'll make more money on the one that you're right on. So I actually stepped in there today and I actually shorted AMD. And I went long Taiwan Semi, and they actually both worked out really well. Taiwan Semi, the only reason why I went long was because Taiwan Semi had a piece of news, and that piece of news was some pre-released data ahead of earnings, and it was some really good data, and it was some really good information. Okay, so that was why I wanted to go ahead and get long Taiwan Semi. I also liked what I saw on the daily chart, but then AMD has been weak. And I wanted to make sure that I go ahead and I wanted to short one of them. AMD made me some really good money to the downside, and Taiwan Semi made a little bit of money to the upside as well. Here, we do have that file that's loaded up now, guys. So what I'm going to show you first is in the pre-market session before the day started, when I'm covering what I think the overall market is going to do today, excuse me. And we will go ahead and play that clip. I don't know if we get to the 50-day moving average today, but I'll tell you this. Here's what I don't expect to happen. And if this does happen, I'll come right back on this microphone and say, well, I was wrong about this one. I do not expect this market to take back this gap down. I don't. I don't expect us to go back to like 518 and put in this massive bottoming tail like you did yesterday. I feel like that bottoming tail yesterday is going to be a little bit of like a bull trap for some people. Now you've got the big gap down off the CPI. I think you're going to get a little bit more selling pressure that takes you into that 50-day moving average. If by 2:30 this afternoon, the SPY is 518, I'll come right back on and be like, my bad, I was wrong. I'll probably be right on the day if that's the case, because I'm going to try to short some stuff here in the morning. I'm looking for a test that 50-day moving average by tomorrow. Okay. Individual stocks that listen, resistance levels on the SPY, 515 to 516. So if there's a bounce here early, 515 to 516, that's a little bit of a possible resistance area. You can look for that bounce to kind of run out of steam. Okay. So there you guys have it. So that's the pre-market session. Okay. That's the pre-market session when I told members 515 to 516, look for the early bounce to run out of steam. And there it is. There's your 515, 516. You ran right into it and then bang, punched right in the face down to make fresh new lows on the day. And this is the analysis that you guys get every single day inside True Trading Group. Okay. Every single day inside True Trading Group, you guys are going to get this analysis where these levels are going to be identified. You're going to know exactly the stocks that the moderators and I are focused on. You're going to know exactly the prices that we're going to get into these positions. And you're going to know exactly the prices we're looking to get out of these positions. You were not left to just fend for yourself during these trading days. There's a reason why myself and the 8 professional trading mods are with you from pre-market all the way through into the close, so that you're not by yourself and you don't have to figure all this stuff out by yourself. You'll always know what my thoughts are on the overall market. Support, resistance, up, down, green, red, whatever it is. I'll always tell you exactly what that game plan is ahead of time. And then I also tell you individual stocks that I like. And then where I'm going to get in and where I'm going to get out. So in this is the last video clip I'm going to play for you guys. This is when I'm going through my watch list and I'm explaining some of the stocks that I have on watch. Reddit was one, AMD was one, Taiwan Semi was one. I'm not going to play for you the whole 30-minute, 20-minute, video clip of me going through my whole watch list and my breakdown with everybody. But I just grabbed a couple of different of those trade ideas and I played them. I'm going to play them for you guys right here on this video clip. This is again before the market opens when I'm explaining these are the stocks I'm focused on. These are the prices I'm looking to get in. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Individual stocks. I'm looking at AMD for a short back up against like 168. AMD broke that 173, 172 support level. We consolidated underneath it for 3 consecutive days. Now you're pushing back towards the bottom end of that consolidation after the CPI print. If there's a bounce back into like 168, I'm going to try to get short AMD. Stop losses up around 169, 169 and a half. And see if AMD gets to the low 160s. I'm looking for AMD to break a pivot point at 166. And if AMD breaks 166, I'm going to look for the drop to 161. And then we'll be taking profits off in front of that 100-day moving average that's on the daily chart. And then this previous structure that's back here from January and February. I love the 161 support level. I think it's a great spot to look at AMD for a possible, find its footing. I'm also looking at Reddit for a possible short. Reddit has this support level at 45, 44, 45. It's been holding ever since the IPO. You're underneath it now this morning. I just want to look to see if we can't get back above 45. If Reddit can't get back above 45, I'll have no problem trying that short with a tight stop against like 45, 75 or so, and just see if it can roll itself over and start to sell off. If I'm worried about the market and having some weakness into tomorrow, I would expect Reddit to drift its way lower. And there you guys have it. Okay, so there is the analysis on AMD and on Reddit. And I'll just say, what did we actually do with Reddit? Well, we ran all the way to 44.60. Found resistance in front of 45 and then rolled over. Exactly what we just discussed, what you just heard me say there in the pre-market session. So beautiful trades there, back up against that 45 resistance. There's that previous support. See how it used to be support? Well, it broke, gapped underneath it. So therefore, when you pull back in, when you push back up to retest it, you look for it to become resistance, and then you get the market then sells itself off. And that was a beautiful set up there. And it's a beautiful analysis there. And then also AMD. Now, AMD is the actual trade that I executed. And AMD, we pushed right up into that 168. You heard me say in the pre-market session, I'm going to get short this thing if it pops up there above 168. So I went ahead, I got short AMD, and you can see this thing rolled itself over, and we took a bunch of profits off along the way. So we took profits here. We took profits off. I took profits off on this thing 4 times today. So these were your take profits there on AMD. So there's the short entry, take. I'm down to a runner. I do still have a small piece of this position on. I'm in about 10% of the position still, just to go into tomorrow and see if I can get to that final target of 161, which is what you heard me say. We didn't quite get there. We stopped at 164 today. So I'm holding a runner to see if we can get to 161, but a beautiful trade from 168 down to 164. And I'm also holding a 10% runner on Taiwan Semi. I'm long Taiwan Semi from 145.5. We took beautiful 145 and like 54 cents. So right here is where I took the entry this morning. I wanted to be long this thing against yesterday's close because of that positive news. And we got a nice extension to highs of the day there early, and we got profits off. And then I took another piece of profit off before the close so I can hold on to a small runner just in case we get more upside tomorrow. So I'm keeping the hedge alive just with very small size, about 10% of the TSM position from the long today, and then about 10% of the AMD position from the short, going into the PPI number tomorrow to see if there actually is a little more downside. All right. So there you guys have it. I mean, this is the analysis that members of True Trading Group get each and every single day. Okay. This is what they get each and every single day. Now, this is what has allowed our members to be successful. And when I say be successful, I'm talking very specifically about making money. I'm not just saying that they just feel good about themselves. I mean that they're actually seeing the result in their brokerage accounts. And you should not just take my word for it. You should take their word for it. Members of True Trading Group, just do me a favor and go ahead and type the number 1 inside chat if you're making money and you're becoming a better trader because of TTG. If that is the case, then go ahead right now and just type the number 1. The people that are on this live that are not yet members of True Trading Group, my advice to you is to pay attention to how many people that you see type the number 1 on the side of the screen. The people that you see typing the number 1 are members of True Trading Group that are your peers. These are your friends, your family members, and your coworkers. And if they can do it, then so can you. There's no reason why you would not be able to have success if these people can have success. They're not luckier than you. They're not smarter than you. They just have access to real education, real tools. They're part of a real community that cares whether or not they succeed or fail. They've invested in themselves. They put in the time, the energy, the effort, and now they're reaping the rewards. It's not because they have some special super top secret indicator or pattern that I learned on Wall Street that nobody wants you guys to know about. That's not why. Mark Connor just joined yesterday. Mark, how was your first day with us, brother? Give me your honest assessment, your honest opinion, Mark. So Mark says, I just joined yesterday. Mark, you tell me, how was your first day within True Trading Group? Did you enjoy your first day? What are your thoughts? You know, you said you just joined us yesterday. So I would love to know what your thoughts were, Mark, your first day with us today. And yeah, guys, you know, this is what Mark says seems promising. Yes, I like that, Mark. Well, congrats on your first day with us. Many more to go. You got 364 days to go. So glad to have you part of the group, Mark. Glad to have you part of the group. All right. Now, let me see real quick how many people are not members of True Trading. I'm curious to see who's on here that's not a member of TTG. I got two things that I want to mention to you guys that are actually really cool. One of them is something that's brand new. So, guys, if you're not a member of True Trading Group, can you guys just go ahead and type the letters TTG real quick? Just type TTG if you're not part of our community. Thanks. Skunk Ape says Mike's the GOAT. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not the GOAT, but I do appreciate that. Guys, go ahead and type TTG if you are not a member of True Trading Group. We'll see how many people that we have on here that are not part of the community, so I just know who I'm talking to. Joseph Barnes, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We got Jim Span. How are you? Yeah, if you guys are not members, just go ahead and type TTG for us real quick. I want to see who we have here. Guys, you know what? This is something that's new. We actually just are launching this at True Trading Group, something that is actually totally free. It is a free newsletter that's actually owned by True Trading Group that provides you a daily recaps of what happened in the stock market today, served up in a very simple, bite-sized pieces that you guys can easily understand. So you're always informed and you always know what's going on. Okay. You can expect us in your inbox every single afternoon. We'll cover the top stock market news, top gainers, top losers, what to watch for tomorrow, served up for you guys in a simple, bite-sized piece that does not require a degree in finance for you to understand. This is totally free. It's our brand new newsletter. It's called Stock Market Today. You guys can go to stockmarkettoday.com and just enter your email address and sign up for our free daily newsletter. Again, guys, this newsletter, you can expect it in your inbox every afternoon. We're going to go over the top news in the market for the day, top gainers, top losers, what you should watch for tomorrow in a very simple, easy to understand content and layout that does not require a degree in finance or 10 years of market experience for you guys to be able to comprehend and understand. It's totally free. You just have to enter your email address and then sign up, and then look out for the verification email to just confirm your email address. It's totally free. This is whether you're a member of True Trading Group. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, it's totally free. Go to stockmarkettoday.com, and that is a free daily newsletter from us at True Trading Group. My pleasure to put this out for everybody. The more content we can put out, the more we can educate people, the more we can tell people, listen, this is what's happening right now. This is what you should be paying attention to. This is what we think happens tomorrow. And that can help you guys really narrow down your focus on what it is that you're going to be trading and where you're going to be focusing and what you're going to do with your own money and how you can actually start making money from this action. So again, go to stockmarkettoday.com, sign up for our free daily newsletter. All right. That's stockmarkettoday.com. So we're very excited. We actually just launched this today. We've already got a few thousand people that have signed up to the newsletter. Very excited for it. You guys go ahead there, enter your email address, and then sign up for our free newsletter. All right. That's going to be a daily newsletter expected in your inbox every afternoon with all the important stuff of what happened on the day and what to expect tomorrow. All right. That's stockmarkettoday.com. All right. Excellent. Now back to those of you that are not members. I see we got a couple more people. Zolani, we got Steve, Cali Hippo. So a couple of people that are not yet members of True Trading Group. Listen, for those of you that are not members, you guys are, thank you, Stan. Stan says, you are the GOAT of market analysis. Spot on most days. It is uncanny how often you nail the market moves before the market even opens. I appreciate that, Stan. Yeah, guys, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been doing this for 18 years. So I know a thing or two. I'm not right all the time. And when I'm wrong, I'll come right on here and tell you that I'm wrong. If I lose money, I'll come right on here and tell you that I lost money. But I am right a lot more than I am wrong. All right. So I do appreciate the kind words from our members. Thank you very much, guys. Those of you that are not members, though, okay, you're actually in a little bit of luck because I don't think Adam and the group were busy launching the new newsletter today that I don't think they had time to change the price on the coupon code. Is that confirmed, Joe? We did not change the price for the coupon code? That is confirmed. So those of you that are typing TTG, you're actually in luck because you can actually save an extra $100 today because the price of the membership was supposed to go back up based on the coupon code, which was supposed to be changed last night at midnight, but they didn't do it because they were too busy launching the new, the free newsletter. So anyone that's not a member of True Trading Group, that coupon code I'm going to give you, since it's still on the checkout page, it actually gives you a 48% discount, but today will be the last day for that. Then they'll change that by midnight, and then they will go ahead and then raise the price of the membership going into tomorrow. So those of you that are not yet members, do yourself a favor and go to ttgoffer.com. That's ttgoffer.com. Okay. The price of the membership, when you hit that page, it'll say it's $1,212 for the whole year. But use this coupon code. It'll actually bring the price down to just $627 for the whole year. The coupon code is TTG121. You must manually type the code in, click apply code. The price drops to the $627. That's 48% off. Check out, and then you guys are good to go. Okay. Now, after midnight tonight, that price is going to be over $700. So you guys can save yourself an extra $100 or so by getting it now for the $627. All right. Go to ttgoffer.com. Use the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops to $627. Everything you see on that page is included in the $627. There's no upsell for the things that are on that page. This includes our entire 22 course curriculum, beginner courses, advanced courses, options, swing trading, total psychology, crypto. It's a simplified and expanded upon version of the training that I received when I worked at the fund in New York. There are no VIP courses that cost more money after you join. Every course is included for that $627. You're also going to get our chat room and the mobile app. The chat room is where the moderators and I share our screen. We're live on the mic. We're calling out trades. We're with you from pre-market till the end of the day. If you can't be in front of your computer, like 82% of our members can who work full-time jobs, use the mobile app. The mobile app is available on iPhone and Android. Okay. Now, the mobile app will let you be connected to what's going on, be on your mobile phone. You'll get real-time push notifications when our moderators enter and exit positions, so you can follow along with what we're doing, even if you're working a full-time job. That's how 82% of our members that work over 40 hours a week, that's how they're able to follow along and still make money from what it is that we do at True Trading. You'll also get access to our video library with 1,000 hours of different workshops covering different topics. And then you can start attending the live workshops once you become a full-time member. You're going to get the watch list from the moderators and I, where every day we tell you these are the stocks we're focused on. These are the prices we're going to get in. These are the prices we're going to get out. Lency Winter says the education is blowing my mind. I'm so glad I found True Trading Group. I've learned so much from the courses. That's incredible. Lency, I'm glad to hear that. Music to my ears. Keep it up. Music to my ears. Keep it up. All right. So like I said, go to ttgoffer.com and use the code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops to $627. If there's anybody that's on here that is skeptical, I don't blame you for the skepticism, but I will erase it for you now. Anyone that joins today pays $627, but I'm also going to offer you a double your money back guarantee. That's what we do when you join True Trading Group. You get a double your money back guarantee. That is how confident we are in the platform that we've created. Now, the double your money back guarantee, it's right there on the checkout page, ttgoffer.com. It's in black and white. Yes, it's real. Go read it. The way that it works is as follows. You join us today, you pay $627. Go through our courses, pass our quizzes, and attend one study group. We do study groups every Thursday. They're free. You don't have to pay anything extra for them. They're included with your membership. If you do those things and you have the whole year to do them, you don't have to do this all in like 30 days, some impossible task. You have the whole year, so go at your own pace. Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, attend one study group. If you're unable to make enough winning trades with us to equal the $627 at least one time, we'll give you back double your money. We'll give you back $1,254. See, Patriotic Dad says, I was skeptical, but the info is priceless. A lot of people were skeptical at first. Now their biggest regret is they didn't join sooner. So all you need to do is go to ttgoffer.com, use the code TTG121, click apply code, price drops to $627. And if you can't make the $627 back at least once, we'll give you back $1,254. That's the deal when you join True Trading Group. I can do that because our refund rate at TTG is actually less than 2.5%. It's like 2.4 and change. So that's why I have no problem offering you double your money back. And we have a 78% retention rate. So 78% of our members have either renewed their membership or they've gone on to become lifetime members of the community. Here, watch. Guys, type the number 2 if you're a lifetime member, or if you've been a member for longer than a year, just type the number 2. And anyone that's on here still that's not a member of TTG, you really have to ask yourself and wonder, why the hell would all these people renew their membership or maybe even go on to become lifetime members, which costs thousands of dollars? Why would they do that if they weren't making any money? Why would they do that if they found no value in what True Trading Group is and what we have to offer? Deb says they're the best trading group ever, totally legit and caring. Thank you very much, Deb, for the kind words. You can see all the people that are typing the number 2. These are people that are part of True Trading Group that are lifetime members or they've renewed their annual membership. You have to imagine if you joined and you paid $627, you didn't make any money, you didn't learn anything, maybe you lost money, you're not going to renew your membership. I don't expect you to. You're certainly not going to become a lifetime member. So then why did all these people? Well, most likely because they're actually having success and they are getting value in what it is that we offer in True Trading Group. So if you guys are interested, go to ttgoffer.com, start capitalizing on this analysis, start putting yourself in the proper positions to be able to make money from these moves in this market. And we've got a big data point coming out tomorrow. That's the PPI number. The difference between tomorrow's number and today's number was the CPI, that's Consumer Price Index. That factors in the prices that we as consumers pay for things. Then you have the PPI, that's the producer price index. That factors in the prices that, companies that manufacture and produce certain goods and services, the prices that they pay for the things that they use to operate their businesses. So that's the biggest difference between CPI and PPI. We got the CPI today. It was hotter than expected, but it didn't necessarily accelerate. We have the PPI number tomorrow. Is the number tomorrow also hot? But the question is, does it accelerate? Because if it accelerates, you can see a follow-through move to the downside tomorrow if the PPI number is worse than the CPI number. All right, so that's what I'm paying attention to. I gave you the analysis yesterday for the CPI data. It was correct. If the number came in hot, what we thought the markets were going to do, it happened. Now tomorrow, if the number comes in hot and there's an acceleration, the acceleration is the key. If there's an acceleration from like 3 or 4 data points, not just one. If there's an acceleration on like 3 or 4 data points, then I think tomorrow's candle looks something like this. Bill Martin says, I'm a lifetime member. It's the best decision that I made. G. Brown says, Mike and the group want everyone to be successful while working many hours. J.E. Blanco is their 4th year as a lifetime member. Terry Callahan made enough money today to pay for a lifetime membership. This is the real deal. Hell yeah, guys. Great job. I'm happy to see so many people made good money today and had good days because the analysis today was spot on. We put ourselves in the right positions. We were able to make some really good money from it. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more downside tomorrow if there's an acceleration in the PPI number. If there's not an acceleration in the PPI number, and the PPI number, let's say it actually surprises to the downside, then that's going to alleviate a lot of today's tensions and a lot of today's worries. And you probably get a little bit of a gap up and a little bit of a move towards 518. And I would say watch for 518 if the number tomorrow is under expectations. But I'd be surprised at this point if it was under expectations. I think it's more likely it's hot. It's just a matter of, does it accelerate? If it accelerates, I'm looking for that 510. If it's just hot, we'll have to play that out on a stock by stock individual basis. And we'll do that with our members tomorrow morning in the pre-market session, as we always do. Way to go. Toya Willer says, I made $700 today. Yesterday, I made $1,200. Last week, I made $15K, all just following and validating the moderator's trades. There you go, Toya. Congratulations. $700 profit today, $1,200 profit yesterday, $15,000 profit last week just from following and validating the moderator's trades. Congratulations, Toya. Members, people that are on here that are not yet members, this is the stuff you're missing out on. You can join right now for $627. Tomorrow, the price is over $700. Save the $100. Go to ttgoffer.com. Use the code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops all the way down to the $627. Everything on that page is included. Sign up. Get your butts in chat. Start taking advantage of this. And then everybody sign up for the free newsletter. It's stockmarkettoday.com. It's a newsletter that is owned by True Trading Group that provides you with a daily recap of what's happening in the market, served up in simple bite-sized pieces that are easy for everybody to understand. You can expect us in your inbox every afternoon. We'll go over the top news on the day, top gainers, top losers, and most importantly, what you should be paying attention to for tomorrow. Again, served up in easy to understand content that you do not need some Wall Street experience or some finance degree in order for you to understand. All right, that's stockmarkettoday.com. Enter your email, sign up, and then just make sure you confirm your email. Check your spam, maybe if you don't get the confirmation email, just to confirm your email address. And then you guys can expect an email from us every afternoon. If anybody has any questions, okay, if anybody has any questions, you can send us a text message at 1-888-306. Okay, 1-888-306-8783. Again, that's 1-888-306-8783. If you have any questions or you're having a hard time signing up, any questions, anything you're concerned about, text that number. We're fully transparent. We are an open book. We'll answer any questions that you guys have. All right. So go to ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. The phone number to text with questions, or if you're having a problem, is 1-888-306-8783. And then everybody, members and non-members, sign up for that newsletter, stockmarkettoday.com. You can't miss it. You can't be without it. You'll get some helpful insights from myself and the TGG team each and every single day, totally for free. Mary Esther Woods, happy 59th birthday to Mary Esther. Happy 59th birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. An Aries buddy. My birthday was the 8th. My birthday was on Monday. And I'm happy another Aries in the house. Ayo. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Mary Esther. You're very welcome. All right, folks, that's it. That does it for today. Congratulations to all of my members that hit it today on AMD. If you hit it today on Taiwan Semi, congrats. We'll see if we can squeeze a little more juice out of those trades tomorrow. We got the PPI number coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Should be another big market day. I expect volatility. I expect some really good movement. I expect some really good money-making opportunities. If you haven't done so, guys, make sure you join. Get your butts in chat. Price goes up tomorrow. Any questions, text us. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. I hope you guys had a wonderful time on the stream. If you have not yet done so, subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you never miss out on these